Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Penn.
And welcome. You are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa every Tuesday at naturally high noon here out of the Sunset Garage Studios, where Scandal and Murder, She Wrote are filmed out of Universal Broadcasting Radio TV, and then every Thursday at 7, Saturday at 2 on my syndicated CNBC NBC News Radio channel KCAA. That's AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and then everywhere on iHeartRadio. You can get me anytime, anywhere, splattering more hope and happiness on you. Scandal may be filmed here, but there is no scandal, no gossip, and no K-words, no Kardashian talk on this show, because I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So my topics and my guests, anywhere from Layla Ali, Muhammad Ali's daughter, to Marianne Williamson, to Marianne from Gilligan's Island, to Neil Donald Walsh, Don Miguel Ruiz, you name it. I've got them here. If you've missed any of those past shows, please go to my YouTube. Free subscribe. You'll get all those past shows, as well as some of my red carpet interviews with John Travolta, Halle Berry, Quincy Jones, Fran Drescher, people that you've never heard of in your life. So I would love you to stay connected with me as I continue to splatter you with more hope and happiness. And the newest way to do that is this beautiful baby that took 9 months to write. And last Tuesday, you were so kind, you launched with me. And today is the end of a very long, beautiful week of launch. And so I wanted to celebrate that with you and celebrate it as well with two of my wonderful friends and supporters who really helped me out. So I wanted to bring them on. First, I have Erin Saxton. She is a multi-Emmy nominated TV producer. Barbara Walters was her mentor at The View, so she also started her own private production company and working on Good Morning America, Dow Jones, etc. She's launched and sold PR companies and is now back to consulting with business partners at NeuroBee, where they focus on creating marketing strategies, media strategies with neuromarketing and the neuroscience behind it all. And then secondly, I have Alana Chapman, who's dedicated her life to helping others discover their true desires and create happy, fulfilling lives. Alana has studied self-improvement for over 10 years. During this journey, she's developed a strong understanding of why people stay stuck in lives they do not want to live. She's instructed at Right Relations Family Enrichment, teaching the same skills she shares in her best-selling books, You Can't Escape from a Prison If You Don't Know You're in One, and The Prison Effect. Discover how you are blocking your own happiness and break free to abundance and joy in life. You'll see her online with the Savvy Sisterhood Facebook community, on the radio, TV, doing her weekly podcast interview, and she has lots of opportunities to encourage you to live your life the fullest. In fact, I was on one of her podcasts called Self-Help on Steroids, and if you missed that, you can get that on her page. So please, without further ado, please welcome my two CEO Space International gal pals, Erin Saxton and Alana Chapman. How do you like that?
What an audience.
Yes, it's a fabulous in-studio audience. I'm telling you, they're the most affirming individuals ever. Thank you for joining me today. And Erin, where are you hailing from? Where are you zooming in from?
Right now,
yes.
I am Where's Waldo, so you never really know. But right now, I'm at my home office in New Jersey, which is right outside of New York City.
New Jersey. And Alana?
Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Indiana. and I'm in Hollywood. So we're all connected. I just love technology. There we go. A nice 3-shot. And I wanted to, I have not talked to you, so you have no idea how the book has done this week. So I want to tell you that that first launch day, I started on KLHQ radio at 7 in the morning with Rick Rule, and we did a show there. And then I did 8 back-to-back interviews. I went from show to show to podcast, and then I did a launch party. So it was an amazing day, and I got home that night, and I watched myself go from 1.1 million on Amazon to 5,051 ranking, and I watched myself in the categories. I got 2 of the worst categories you could possibly get: happiness and success. In fact, you know Keith, right? He's like, why did that happen? And I was watching it come up, and it got to 136. Oh. And I thought, am I going to make the top 100? Please let me make the top 100. That would be so awesome. And then I can say I'm a bestseller. And it didn't look like it. I got home at 10:30. I was so bummed. I was still at 136. And I was like, okay, I accept. You know, I'm super glad. This book is helping a lot of people already. I was getting really good feedback, so it's enough. So I have to tell you, I did not make the top 100. However, I made the top 10. I made the top 10 in 2 categories, not 1, but 2 categories, in happiness and success, self-help, against 7 Habits Covey, Don Miguel Ruiz, who's been on my show twice, 4 Agreements, and Badass. You Are a Badass.
Yeah.
I'm not swearing. That's the name of a book. So the fact that I got number 6 in happiness and number 7 in success, is that amazing? Are you like shocked? I was shocked. I was completely like, oh.
Doesn't it feel good?
Oh my God. It feels so amazing. Now, I have to be honest, 8% of it is for ego. Absolutely. I get to call myself a top 10 best-selling author now. However, and I sat my kids down about that too. And I said, it's not about the numbers. It's really, the best-selling author allows the media to get a hold of it. And Erin has this fabulous program, Dating the Media, by the way, that you will definitely want to go to her website to get, because it's a game. I hate to say that. I had no idea that publishing was like just as much about, what's the word, Erin? About selling or communication, or it's less about the content of the actual book than about how you place.
Yeah, I first of all, congratulations. I'm not surprised that you made it into the top 10.
You're biased. You're biased.
The content is great. However, what's interesting is all the radio and podcasts and TV shows that get you there, they don't really read the book, right? So they're going based on what or anybody listening, what we tell the media about. And so, when I do consulting, I say, like, we have about 8 seconds. That's our attention span as humans. Goldfish have 9 seconds attention span. So if you're writing a book for a goldfish, you're better off. But, so it's all about that first impression. So whatever you were sending, Marissa, to them, the pitch, the package, your photos, like that aestheticness, they really do judge a book by its cover, for sure. And then you want them to lean in. Then you give them all the information. And then once you're booked, they read all of the materials.
Right. And I do have to give a quick shout out to Ken Rashan, who captured my mug so well. And my makeup, Dominique Lerma, and my hair, Jerome. So I'm I have to give them kudos. And then also the cover team at Morgan James, we went through 3 different photographers, and it was not fun. I'm like, I'm supposed to be having fun. I'm not having fun, but it was totally worth it to get this. And even Jim, the managing editor at Morgan James, was like, we tell authors, no, not your first book, no picture on the front. It just doesn't, I know it's a vanity thing, but you're not having your picture on the front. And then Jim said, you're having your picture on the front. So I was like, yee.
Yeah.
But again, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt, but I wanted to give credit to my cover people. Okay, go ahead.
No, it's just a chess match. It is a chess game. Anybody who needs to get promoted out there. I mean, Elena, you and I talk about this a lot, and so don't you agree? I mean, you put out 3 books.
Oh, and the prison effect. My gosh, when I was doing that, it was the feel of the book that people love. That was Morgan James too, and they love the feel and they love the shock factor of it, because it has the barbed wire and everything.
Yeah.
That really got the people. And then the content. And that's why it's an international best-selling. And that's why I love it so much. It's a fantastic book. But it took time to get there. I was actually shocked when it hit. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But it is a book that it's the feel. It was the feel. And then, of course, how you pitch it. Right, Erin?
Yeah. And also, too, I want to share with both of you, and you know this because we're friends, but I'm talking to you as if we've never met or chatted. But, for people listening, like more people are writing books, or more people could be writing books now than ever before.
Yes.
And with all those publishing platforms, we know so many great options and routes, but that people can explore. But I think people make the mistake of publishing a book and then that's it. And then they leave it, and then now they're like, whoo, okay. And then they go work on something else, and then a few years pass, and then they might write another book. I strongly recommend that you stay in that lane with your book, stay on the highway, keep driving, don't pull off into the rest stop. You don't need the Roy Rogers of the 80s, right?
Right.
So just keep working on the book. So if there's 15 chapters in your book, think of it like 15 marketing campaigns. Like your shelf life of your book for you internally, for your team, is much longer of a shelf life than our publishers will do, because that's just the first wave. So Marissa, I mean, I hope that you come up with 15 more marketing campaigns that keep you on the top 10 list.
Thank you. I actually am grateful. I'm going to be on Sunday Night Live. I'm going to be on KNOX. I'm going to be on, I've forgotten. I meant to write down a list, but I'm in the media like this the rest of this month, and I've been on a motherhood magazine, a woman's magazine. So Marilee, I don't know if you know her. She's been out there like pounding the pavement with the articles. And you're absolutely right. It's not about the book for me now. It's about the message, because the message is specifically for people who are not happy 50% of the time or more. So, and there's a lot. I say 80. Like when I did 6 book signings in 4 days in 2 states and 6 cities. And if you could I want to do a little show and tell here. The most beautiful part of sitting with people doing a book reading is I got to share with them one of the balance tools from chapter 1, Out of Loneliness into Hope. And that is naming the critic in your head, naming the brat in your head. So the critic's the one that's like, you shouldn't have done this. You should have done this. Why did you do that? And then they've been talking for decades and decades. And then the brat who's the one that says, what do you mean I can't have that donut? Or I don't feel like making that call, or I don't feel like doing that project, and leave me alone. You're not the boss of me. And so the two of them provide a lot of sabotage for the balance-centered self. And then the last one, so we put the critic on the passenger, the brat in the back seat, and then the sad one, 7 out of 10 of us have had trauma when we were young. My honorable moniker, Oprah, says it's as high as 8 out of 10. I just looked at the stats this morning. It's up to 93%, according to some researchers. So if we're the majority, why do we think there's something wrong with us? You know, we're not broken. We don't need to be fixed. We've had trauma to help chisel us into the beautiful beings that we are. But the sad one that was told not to cry, not to feel, not to express, you know, or I'll give you something to cry about, that little part of us is scared. And I have clients come all the time, midlife opportunity time, not midlife crisis. And they say, I can't stop crying and I don't know why I can't stop crying. And Alana, I know you do this work too with people who just, they know there's something wrong, but they don't know what. And it's partially the sad one finally saying, hey, I can't take this anymore. You know, I'm going to take you all out if I don't get to express my sadness, if I don't get to heal. And so, you know, the beautiful thing about introducing that in my readings at the Aliso Viejo Barnes & Noble, at Fern's Garden in Long Beach, at the Tattered Covers in Denver, at the Barnes & Noble in Long Beach and Burbank and Redlands. I hope I didn't forget anybody. But I mean, just the beautiful thing about it, people were crying. And I love when people cry, not because I'm sadistic, but I love when people feel safe enough to, tears are the disinfectant that keep your heart soft. And when they cry, I know that our hearts are connected. And I'm so grateful. Yeah, I did. So, are you going to run with it? So I said,
I don't know if I could repeat that.
Oh.
My brat in the backseat of my car doesn't like it. He doesn't like the saying.
Well, tell your brat.
Now my sad person is like, but she made that up and it's okay. And they're fighting now. I can't hear you, Marissa. I'm in my car and people are just talking all around. Shut up, everybody. Shut up.
Yeah, no, and the point is not to tell them to shut up or throw them out the 405 in the car. Yeah, the point is to actually love them. And I had them put their arm around the critic and say, hey, darling, thank you so much for criticizing me and yelling at me these past 30 years. It's been wonderful, but I got this now. I've heard you. I know you're well-meaning, but you're more mean than well. And I really, it's not helping us. So please have a seat here. You need a vacation. You've been yakking way long. You're starting to get laryngitis, and I love you. Sit down. Have a seat.
Why did I have to stay in the car, though? Can we talk about this?
No, yeah, because they're a part of us. We had to have a critic to keep us alive when we were young. If it were not for that voice, we'd be dead. Many abused. I was abused, seriously abused, and so if I had not had that voice, I would have taken myself out. So it is important to acknowledge that the critic actually does care. It is in its own way trying to help us. But we usually, the critic comes from that primary person who was very critical. And so I ask you to name your critic. So mine's name is Rose. So guess what my mother's name was?
Rose.
So, yeah. Now my internalized Rose is way worse than my mother ever was, because she's also taken on every other critical thing that's ever been said to me. And so she's very strong, but now the only one she respects is balance-centered Dr. Marissa. And that's who I have grown over these last 9.5 years so that I can put her in that seat. And she has a place. She's also the protector. So that's why you can't kill her, and you don't want to put her in the trunk. She'll break out of the trunk anyways. But we just want, we want to keep her where we have an eye on her. The brat's over here so we can keep an eye on her. The sad one's protected behind us. The brat's opposite is the playful part. That's why Erin's got the strongest brat. She doesn't have the strongest critter. Her brat drives her life car almost all the time. When I first met her, it was Agnes, my brat, and Erin's brat. What's your brat's name, Erin? Just make up a name. Tina? Okay. Tatum. Oh, that's perfect. Tatum O'Neill. That's so perfect. So Tatum and Agnes met at CEO Space, and it was We were out freaking playing. We were making fun of everybody. We had such a good time.
Sounds bad.
So the brat goes here where you can watch. Elena, what's your brat's name? You have a pretty strong brat too. We played this last time in Tampa.
Yeah, my little brat is a fun. I kind of like my little brat sometimes, and
Yeah.
I call him Tommy.
Tommy. So there's a time and a place, right? Insulting someone to their face is a brat thing. We don't want to do that, but we can play later. Yeah,
And then the fun side is more fun. That's Tanya.
absolutely,
That's the fun side.
absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah.
But all the fun parts, yes. But then it's always good to also look down into your soul and pull out that part.
That's
And
the
that's
balance-centered self. That's what I call the balance-centered self.
It's a balance-centered self. It's the side with all the gifts,
Yes.
the creativity, the wanting to experience, the beauty, the knowledge, the intuition, the imagination, the growth.
Yes, absolutely. And if you've just tuned...
Build.
Yes, absolutely. If you've just tuned in, I forgot to do my station ID. I knew that would happen with 3 talkers. If you've just tuned in and you're wondering who I am talking and laughing with, it is 2 of my gal pals from CEO Space International who have now transcended that organization. They're just really wonderful, beautiful women who have supported me in this launch. Erin Saxton, multi-Emmy nominated award producer coming out of New Jersey. And then Alana Chapman, who interviewed me on her Self-Help on Steroids episode, hailing out of Indiana. And you are tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa. And so, okay, so the other good news, I'm so excited to tell you,
It was so much fun to have you on 30-Minute Moments. I have to tell you that before you go any further.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a lot of fun to have you on that show. And the 30-Minute Moments you can see on iTunes if anybody is interested in seeing that, because it really was an eye-opener when we talked more about all the sides of ourselves. I love that.
Yeah,
So,
it was great. It was great. So they can get it at iTunes under Alana Chapman?
on iTunes, you can get it under just 30-Minute Moments.
30-Minute Moments. Google 30-Minute Moments.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So the first one is the round one I want you to show. The day before launch day, I found out that I got the gold medal book award. No, I guess it's not there, but and then show the silver one, which is from Literary Titans, which I was awesome. And then on my birthday, August 10th, I come home, I'm exhausted. I just flew in from Denver straight into the Elisa Viejo Barnes and Noble, and I almost went to bed and I saw something on the counter. It was like the kids had cleaned everything up because it was my birthday in the house, and the mail they brought in was really messy. So I accidentally caught sight of something and I opened it up and my hands were shaking because it was from the Indie Human Relations Organization. And I won not one, but 2 literary awards. One is the silver. I got the silver in the self-help category, and then I got a gold in the motivational category from
Wow, you're like the
Indie
Michael
Books.
Phelps of authors.
So 3 awards. This is all in one launch week. I'm just so freaking amazed. So I'm just grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. First of all, to everyone who supported me. I'm looking straight into the camera. There were thousands of people who answered the call, purchased books that day. All of my beautiful endorsers in the book, who I have not thanked formally and publicly. Neil Donald Walsh, who unbelievable. Like, he does not have time to read the book, and he's one who will not endorse a book unless he's read it. And his assistant is so beautiful. She helped so much to get that in front of him. Layla Ali, I love you so much. She actually invited me on her podcast earlier this year, and I erroneously said, can we wait until launch? And then she stopped her podcast in May, but it's okay.
That would happen.
You were right, Erin.
I'm like a media psychic.
You were right. David Hancock, the owner and huge support of my book, Morgan James. Dawn Wells, who I love. She's Marianne from Gilligan's Island. Michael Bernard Beckwith, who wrote the foreword, my big brother. I'm going to be on his show this week, Sound of Transformation, Friday on KPFK 90.17. I keep getting that wrong. Better get it right. Friday at 1. And then I'm doing a book signing at Agape International Spiritual Center in the Sabin Theater. Cheryl Snap Connor, who's also a friend of y'all. I love her so much. Werner Berger, who you also know, Guinness World Book Record winner, oldest to climb all of the summits. Erin Saxton happens to be on page 7 here. Multi-Emmy nominated producer for Barbara Walters and The View. Dan Nitro Clark, who was former NFL player and star of the American Gladiators and best-selling author of F. Dying. Karen Stuth, my editor, Satyama Publishing and Writer's Resource. Keiko Matsui, my twin sister. She's the amazing Billboard #1 jazz keyboardist. Bernie Dorman, do you know him? Founder of CEO Space International. Shay Vaughn, I love her. She's the mom of Vince Vaughn and co-founder of CEO of Women's Broadcast Television Network. And Shay Nettix.
I think Shay has been meaning to introduce me to her son. I think.
Oh.
I'm not sure, but rumor has it.
Okay.
Rumor has it. I don't want to brag. I don't want to be braggadocious, but I think Shay's thinking I should meet Vince.
Is this Tatum? Is this Tatum talking?
Tatum and all 32 of my personalities are pretty sure I need to meet Vince.
Adam,
all 32.
Got it. Adam Markell. Adam Markell, you all know him, love him. Yeah. September Dorman, president and CEO of CEO Space International, Forbes rated must-attend business conference. Greg Reed. Y'all know, I call him modern-day Napoleon Hill. Guess what? He asked me on his stage at the next Secret Knocks.
September. I thought you were going to say he asked me on a date. I was like,
no. We're brother sister like that. Yeah.
You could date.
No, thank you. No. I love him. Not like that.
You could. I'm just saying.
Don't get me in trouble here. Heshi Siegel. You love Heshi Siegel. I love Heshi Siegel. Everybody loves Heshi Siegel. She's the speaker, best-selling author, founder of Kids Better World and the Global Clean Water Movement. Go to Purity. I'm playing her ad during the break. Jeffrey Hazlett. I don't know if you know him. He's primetime TV and podcast host, guest celebrity judge on NBC's Celebrity Apprentice, speaker, Marissa? Author. Yes?
I sold my first company to Jeffrey Hazlett.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm. Small world. OMG. Small world. Very small world. That's so funny. Margie Bordeaux, who was instrumental in beta testing this book, she proofread it and she had her husband left her suddenly after 20 some years of marriage. She had no clue. And then she had this huge bad accident and was, in bed and not able to do anything. And she read the book and she said, Marissa, this is the first time I've had hope in my life since all this happened. And then finally, Steve Farber, who we all love, the author, Radical Leap, Radical Edge, Greater Than Yourself founder. So those are all the endorsers. I wanted to publicly thank them so much. And I'm getting the signal from Tony that we're going to go to break and thank the sponsors who make this show possible. We'll be back in 2 and 2. Remember, it's all about balance. Peace in and peace out. That's world peace through inner peace. 3, 2, 1, and another child dies. Yes, every 4 seconds, someone dies from drinking contaminated water, and that's the bad news. The good news is that the Purity filtration system provides clean, fresh, and safe drinking water, and for every 2 water bottles sold, 1 is shipped to a child in need. Contact Heshy Siegel at kidsbetterworld.com for this win-win-win, life-giving answer to contaminated water today. And we are back. You are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa every Tuesday at naturally high noon out of the Sunset Gower Studios in Hollywood, California with UBN Radio TV. That's Universal Broadcasting Network. And every Thursday at 7, Saturday at 2 on my syndicated CNBC, NBC News radio station, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, and FM 106.5, and syndicated everywhere that iHeartRadio is. And today we are celebrating the end of my launch of my baby, 8 Ways to Happiness from Wherever You Are, and giving credit where credit is due and grateful where grateful is due, and having gratefulness for 2 of my gal pals who are on here to celebrate and also to share their gifts. And that is Erin Saxton, hailing from New Jersey. She is multi-Emmy nominated award for, she's produced The View, Barbara Walters, Good Morning America. I know there's like 4 other ones that I'm forgetting. You can, and we're going to talk about that in a second. And then Alana Chapman, who's international best-selling author of Prison Effect and another book. And she interviewed me on a podcast called Self-Help on Steroids on her 30-minute moments, so that you can find that on YouTube. So let's go to, so what was it like producing those big A shows? What is it, NBC? Did I get the right network?
You know what? I mostly hung out at ABC.
Okay.
Some were syndicated. So, I was in Rockefeller Center, but then it was syndicated. So, that was Rosie O'Donnell. Dow Jones was Dow Jones. And Good Morning America, Barbara Walters, and The View were all at ABC. Okay. So I get around.
You got around, and you look like you use oil of Olay, because that's like a lot of years, and you do not look that old. So,
really 90. I'm 90.
Are you really 90? Yeah. Okay. So, how did that all start? Like, did you wake up and say, I want to be a producer?
I woke up and said, I want to be a Barker's Beauty. No joke.
No joke. Like Bob Barker, Bob Barker's Beauty? Like that Barker?
Yeah, on Price is Right. I thought I really can show off a refrigerator like nobody else. I swear, I'm not even kidding. I'm always kidding, but I'm not kidding. Yeah. So I thought, what do I need to do? I was little, right? But I was like, what do I need to do to get on that stage with Bob Barker and neuter our pets? Like, I don't even know, So I started reading the spaghetti breakfast on Channel 3, those like community service announcements, and I would pretend that was my teleprompter, and I would have my mom and I'd start reading it all, and I would try not to like have my eyes move. I knew I needed to be in TV. And then my interview for my internship, I went to college in Pennsylvania, and my interview for my internship was 6 hours long at Good Morning America. I couldn't believe it. Well, there were 6 departments, right? So it wasn't like you just had to meet with every department. Right. And I'm good with math. That was 6 hours, right? So, and they were only taking 25 spots. Then I got really good with math, and I thought, then I got New Jersey, like that Jersey girl, Irish came up, and I'm like, this is the game.
Uh-huh.
And then I was hooked. I thought, I'll get this, and I did. And so I landed one of 25 spots at Good Morning America, and then I was like, well, I'm not leaving. And one day, this is how old I am. I'm 48, right? So back in the day, I was on the set, and Charlie Gibson and Joan London were our hosts.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And all of a sudden, I was standing with two other interns, and Joan London said, Charlie, look how cute our interns are. And they look at us, and it was like the 3 of us, and I went, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. Suddenly, Bob can show off his own cars and dishwashers and stereos.
I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah, I'm not leaving New York City.
Yeah.
I'm not going to report like some bank robbery and fire on the corner of, Church and Main. That's not my brand. My brand is like fun and entertainment and whatever. And so I dug my heels in, and I haven't lifted them since.
That's awesome. Shout out to Janice Jordan and Thomas Dreyer, who are saying hi on the feed, by the way. So that's how you stay. That's why you did it, and you're obviously very good at it. You actually were brought under the wing of Barbara Walters, who took you on as a mentee and taught you all she knows. Are you still in contact with her?
Not as much.
Okay.
Barbara's awesome, but Barbara, there was only 8 of us. I worked for her production company. So when I'm in a location and Barbara's there, it's great. But the way I've always handled my career is, I don't know, I just keep it all separate, church and state, so to speak, right? So if I'm at the View with clients and when she was on, or I could be at an event and she was there, the people that we all stay connected,
right?
But I'm not texting her or calling her. When I was on her team, I was at her house all the time.
Right.
I was at her office all the time. There was only 8 of us, and I was the baby. I'm the same age as her daughter. So as she was raising Jackie, I was then giving her the same headaches at work. No.
Tatum was for sure.
Tatum, Barbara and Tatum are pretty good friends. Yeah. So
great. Alana, how did you and Erin meet?
Oh gosh, we met. I remember we met at my very first when I went to CEO Space. And I remember we were sitting, I went over to talk to her in her group, and I had someone there that was a great admirer. And I remember when I needed something, do you remember this, Erin?
I do, yeah.
He said, "Oh, I'll go get it." And he had to go all the way up. And she looked at me and she goes, "My God, he's really hooked on you." Boy, wouldn't you like to have that right there? And I thought, okay, that's my friend right there.
Yeah, we've been friends ever since.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
So we met.
That's awesome.
And we've just grown.
Yeah. And Erin helps you produce your show, right?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah. So little plug there.
I'm most proud of, so we do 30-minute moments, which I book. So anybody interested, send me an email, and I may.
Maybe Vince Vaughn might get on.
If he's not too busy chatting with me offline, right?
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? Vince and I think, are the same personality. We're very similar. And Erin likes Vince. And so, anyway. So
poor Vince.
But I'm most proud of, I love 30-minute moments, but I love our Facebook online community that we created that maybe you guys can talk about, called Savvy Sisterhood. And it's awesome. And we set up these like really funny live Facebook live interviews. And sometimes like we just book guests, but we'll give Alana the notice beforehand. And like sometimes I like to mess with her, I'm not going to lie. And I just put her on with people and she never knows. She doesn't know what it's going to say. And it's like, I just like to watch Alana's, like, you guys have to start tuning in because I F with Alana during the Facebook Live.
Gosh, does she ever?
Yes,
but this morning's was hysterical.
Who did you have this morning?
We had someone. We get people from inside Savvy Sisterhood. So the people who are not, they usually join, and then on the show. But Savvy Sisterhood is this growing community of women who love growth and sharing. It is the most interactive women's group on Facebook right now. Do you know that?
Nope.
It's really cool.
I mean, it's so active. But anyway, this morning we had. It was all about your prophet saboteur, and it is a doubt. And so we were talking about as just how it helps you to hurt your prophet. And so we were on with Diane. She is Diane Lidstone. She is a Savvy sister. And she was talking about all the ways. And what did she call the critical mind? Do you remember? It's the The shitty itty bitty.
Am I going to have to hire a video editor for that? I forgot to tell you guys, I have FCC regulations on my NBC. So
funny. But everyone was laughing, and it got a lot of interaction and serious questions. But we had a blast.
Good.
And these are what we do. They're like interviews at 8:00 in the morning, and everybody's up, and
Is it every week on the same Tuesday at 8 in the morning? Okay, so Tony's going to look that up right now. So everybody listening, another place to play. This is a safe place for your brat to come out and have a little fun on a women's interactive supportive network that I never got an invite to, but that's okay. I'm not going to take that personally. My sad one's crying right now, but her name's Sarah. Anyways, I will check that out, and I'm sure
up, Sarah.
So Savvy Sisterhood on Facebook, right?
Join Savvy Sisterhood. Just put it right in the URL of Facebook. Join Savvy Sisterhood altogether.com, and you will get right there, and you can just join.
Perfect.
And if you join a level 2, that's the one that's the best, because you really get to meet the women. We all get on Zoom. We all talk. We all grow our businesses. We interconnect. It's once a week we get on, and that is where I see the most growth.
And that's awesome, because we don't really support each other enough. I don't know what it is about women, the catty thing or the whatever it is, it's not healthy. I mean, men do this very naturally. They say, look at so-and-so, he's doing this, or you want to get together with so-and-so, he's doing that. That's something we've had to learn. And I'm really glad that you have a platform that we can just jump in, Alana.
That is funny, because in the toughest part of my life, that's where women were. They were the ones that stayed, and they were my best friends, and they helped. And I mean, they took the hardships.
Mm-hmm.
Until that's what made me start Savvy Sisterhood, actually. That's one of the main reasons, because when I got, doing this work with women, I'd hear, oh no, women are catty, and women, they're the bullies. I heard that, in corporate America.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my gosh, but women do not, they have this beautiful side. And they just have to believe in themselves, and this bulliness will go away. And that's when we started Savvy Sisterhood.
Got it. Got it. Beautiful. Yeah. All right. And we are out of time. I knew this was going to happen. So I always ask the last. I'm sorry?
Tatum's not leaving.
I love you so much, Erin.
She's saying words right now that I can't say because of your FCC thing.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. It's $25 for every word that I have to video edit. Otherwise, my boss, Fred, at KCAA, we get fined $20,000 per F word that Howard Stern obviously can pay for, but I can't. So thank you, Tatum. Thank you, Balance-Centered Erin, for putting Tatum's mouth shut. So thank you. And the last question I always ask my guests is, are you ready?
Yes.
What or who are you most grateful for? Take a breath. Alana, why don't we start with you?
Well, I am most grateful for, it's kind of 3. It's my 3 boys.
Beautiful.
My 3 amazing boys.
And their names are?
Stevie, James, and Danny.
How old?
18, 15, and 13. We're going to college with the oldest one next week.
Yeah, that's awesome. Me too. So you 3 teenage boys. The only thing worse than that is 2 teenage girls. But anyways, we're not going there. No, I love my girls. My girls were absolutely amazing for my birthday. They gave me this love letter, and that I'm the best thing, and all the good that they are is because of me. It was like, go to my Facebook and read it. You'll cry. Okay.
I'm vomiting over both of you. Listen, I love my kid. I love my kid. I love my family. But you know who I love right now? You, because I still need to tell everybody how to find me on Dating the Media.
How do we find you on Dating the Media, Erin?
I'm grateful to you for asking me a question about plugging my online product that I haven't been able to do yet. I'm that guest right now.
But I did. I did it. I plugged
I
you
want
at
to
the
tell
studio.
everybody where. So it's, if you go to masteringthemedia101.com, then you'll find it.
Masteringthemedia101.com. And you got to take this course. It's going to be really expensive later. So right now it's affordable. And
it's super cheap, like me.
This is 7-time Emmy nominated. She's been in this whole field for decades, even though she doesn't look it. So go say it one more time.
Masteringthemedia101.com.
Fabulous. And I
normally don't do that, but
I know, but I wanted to
say, in fairness to the question, I love my family so much, but I really am grateful at this moment too. I have 2 great business colleagues, and together the 3 of us are doing things that, like, we're complementing each other, and we're building this course, and we're doing masterminds. And I don't think I could be in this area of my career without those 2 knuckleheads. So I'm going to say thank you to them right now.
And their names are?
I just did. No, Chad and Edmund. No, they're awesome. But yeah, so we're making a good team. And so I'm just grateful for everybody.
Wonderful. And I'm grateful for both of you. I'm especially grateful to Erin because she gifted me and threw me into a keynote spot on a freaking European cruise to France, Italy, and Spain with the Women of Global Change. And so I'm grateful to you for that. That was such a gift.
See, I can be a nice person.
No, you can. Every once a year. You're good. So anyways, thank you so much. Thanks for coming on the air. I love you all. Thank you. Bye. And they get applause. There we go. From the studio audience. There we go. And now it's time, the end of the hour, to welcome you to my balance bar. And today's balance tip on the 21-day fast from complaining also corresponds to a balance tool from Chapter 8, Out of Control into Happiness, from 8 Ways to Happiness from Wherever You Are. And the way to stop complaining and also to be more happy is to step away from the device. Do you remember that on a car alarms? I'm dating myself, but you would get too near to a car and it would say, step away from the device. So it's related to when you see something you don't like, instead of being tempted to complain about it, step away, turn away, don't look at it. If you don't like what you're looking at, don't look at it anymore. And that's the easiest way not to complain or to damage your own level of happiness. The other way I like to call it is don't poke the animal. Because there's many different ways to get a reaction. Just don't do it, because then it's going to lead to something you don't want. All right, and that is today's balance tip on the 21-day fast from complaining. If you haven't joined yet, please do. Free, www.balance.org. If you finish 21 consecutive days without complaining, you will win a pack of my motivational cards, 52 card Pick Me Up Stacking the Deck for Life Balance with Dr. Marissa. Only 3 women have managed to do that. So guys, step up. And I'm teaching this Saturday at Rosie's Dog Beach. I'm teaching my moving meditation, balanced Tai Chi Gong. So come to the beach at 8:30 a.m. As I mentioned before, I'm going to be on my big brother, Michael Bernard Beckwith, founder of Agape International Spirit Center, one of the most well-known teachers from The Secret, on his show, KPFK 90.7, Sound of Transformation, 1 p.m. And then join me for another book signing at the Sabin Theater after both services on Sunday for 8 Ways to Happiness from Wherever You Are. I love you so much. Thank you so much for now launching me in as a best-selling, award-winning author this week. I'm so grateful to you. Tune in next week. It's going to be another call-in episode with Dr. Marissa, the kinder, gentler Dr. Laura. So if you want to have a tune-up to smog check your BS belief systems and to align your life tires, contact me for balance.org or drmarissa.tv, or go to my Facebook and message me. And while you're there, give me the finger at Dr. Marissa. Remember, it's all about balance. Tune in next week for another scintillating episode of Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa Pay. That's P for positive, EI. And remember, it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out. That's world peace through inner peace.